Okay, this is my Dodge Dakota. It's a 2003, and I've had this truck since it was new. It has almost 200,000 miles on it, and it's had frequent maintenance. It's pretty clean. It's a 4.7 four-wheel drive. This is the passenger side CV front axle, recently removed. Actually yesterday, and this is the part number. Now you're going to hear from different people on the internet about being able to pull this thing off once you get it ready. It slides right up. This is the front CV joint on a 2003 Dodge Dakota with 200,000 miles on it. You can see the part number here, and there are also some 1500 Dodges that use the same front CV joint. You will see that I have cut this thing to get it off. Those people on the internet who claim you can pull this thing right off are incorrect. As you can see right here, there's a ring, a C-clip in there. And even after severing this shaft here, the C-clip would not slide off the rest of the shaft. And I had to literally cut this shaft remaining in half and beat it off with a hammer, because this C-clip was rusted embedded itself into the shaft. So anyone that tells you there's a special tool to get these off, or you can beat them off, you're wasting your time. There's only two ways to get this shaft out of there. One, cut it, pull this off, and then cut this one and take the remaining off, or remove the whole thing by disassembling the cover on the front differential, take the pin out and remove the whole thing as a unit. And so since I had already elected not to replace the short stub axle that goes in here from the differential, I took this one out, and I'm going to replace also the other side. This is the other side that's ready to bring it out. This is the CV joint here. As you can see, I had to take this portion of these bolts off here that hold this whole unit on there, and take off this steering arm in order to get this down out of the way so that I could remove this shaft. So it is now ready to pull out, but it won't pull out because that C-clip. I'm not going to waste my time trying to tap it out this time. I'm just going to cut the shaft like I did before. It only takes about 20 minutes, and then I can pull it out. You're going to need one of these grinders with a cutting wheel on it to get it out. I didn't do such a fine job on this one because it was my first time. The other one will come easier. You can actually feel when you break through the casing. And care needs to be taken not to damage the remaining short axle spline, or you won't be able to slide the new one back on there. This is the CV portion that I cut off on the other side. As you can see, on the other side, I have pulled that out of there and cleaned the shaft, and we're going to put some graphite lubricant. It comes in a can. It's similar to grease on there to prevent any further rusting. You need to take care that you clean out the groove to receive the new C-clamp to hold that new CV joint in place. And so back on this one, I'm going to make the cut right here, all the way around, and you can turn this as you go around to make your cut, and then this will slide out. Okay, you can see that I made my cut, and you can see this piece is where the C-clip is, and it's frozen on there just like the other one. So I have another tool because I can't get my big grinder in there, and that's this little Dremel. And I'm going to make two cuts, one right here and one right here, and if it's like the other one, I'll still have to beat it off because that C-clip is rusted right in the groove. So I'm going to turn this off now, and the process. Okay, I got it half cut off. You can see the C-clip in there, and it's still not coming off, so I'm going to have to break the C-clip out of here and try to beat this other half of the shaft off of there. Okay, I got the spline all off. I had to cut that sleeve 3 different sections to get it off. But it's there, and when it gets greased up, the other one will slide on just fine. But you can see, as I turn it, the spline's okay. I greased it a couple times, but I don't think that'll bother it at all. So, finished with this one.